everyone, this is a video about word count in books. Now, for those of us who self-publish, we can pretty much do whatever we want. We can make our book what we want. We can write the story we want, whether it's short, whether it's long, whether we divide it up into a series, whether we create a series out of a standalone. As self-publishers, we can do what we want. Now, if you're determined to try and get a traditional publisher, yes, you will have to abide by their word counts. But the word count I want to have a complaint about is the old trad style 40,000 words is a novel. No, to me 40,000 words is not a novel. The reason I'm talking about this is something I'll get to in a moment, but when I was doing my own books, these are the Porn Star Brothers novellas. Now, they are between 41 and 47,000 words a piece. It is 190 and 210 pages. This, to me, is not a novel. That's like a middle grade novel, not an adult novel. They're so thin. To me, that's just not a novel, because this is a novel. These are the novels all of us Gen Xers and above grew up on. 300, 400, 500 pages. Lee Child, James Patterson, Michael Crichton, Jackie Collins. These are the novels we all grew up on. Big, thick mothers that, take two hands to read. Not this. Not these little things. This is a novel. This is the 40th anniversary of Hollywood Wives by Jackie Collins. It's a novel. It's 580 pages, even as a reprint. Not a novel. This is just my personal opinion on this. As a self-publisher and as someone who can do what, she wants with her books. This is a middle grade novel. It's not an adult novel. And the reason I say all this is because I have a cop show trilogy that's around the 50,000 word mark, and I want to release it next year. I wasn't sure which formats to release it in, so I decided to ask in a few Facebook groups. For anyone who's written 50,000 word novellas, what formats do you use, this, that, the other. I just wanted to sort of get that, in my head ahead of time to save what I was doing and what I could tell the cover designer when I get there. Now, when you ask a question in a group, whether it's Facebook or in person, you expect an answer to your question. 2/3 of the people actually answered the question. They said, well, I write 50,000 word books and I do this, this and this. Great, very informative. One person was a book formatter. So she said, I do this, this and this. I'm like, oh my God, amazing, thank you. That's exactly what I was after. And then that 1/3 of the replies were divided in half. So half of that third was people talking about everything but giving me the answer. It was, oh, well, make sure you do this, make sure you do that, and do you know who your target audience is, and blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking, people, that's not what I'm asking. The other half decided to nitpick and get tetchy over the fact I had said, to me, anything under 75,000 words is a novella. Now, my novel, Billionaires, is about 77,000 words. And even then, you can tell the difference between what I consider a novella and what I consider a novel. It's almost double, It's ridiculous. But they got tetchy at the fact that I had said, to me, under 75,000 words is a novella, because it is. That is the way I have done things in my business when producing my books and when I'm writing my books, and how many words end up being in my books. I mean, these I actually turned into this. So this is the omnibus edition of these. And you can tell, completely different. But people just got tetchy, and they decided to school me on what 40,000 words was not a novella. Oh, geez, just don't. Seriously, just don't. Stop pretending that the person asking the question doesn't know what they're talking about or doesn't know what they do. And one person decided to be baffled by what I had said, and how she found it odd that I was trying to redefine the word novella, and she put it in inverted commas, as something under 75,000. And I'm just thinking, fuck off, seriously. So in my comment, I was just, look, that is a trad published word count, and I don't trad publish, I self-publish, so I can call it whatever the hell I want. And, that's it. That's what I do for my business. Anything under 75,000 is a novella. Seriously, this is 77. This is only like 46,000 words. It's almost double. It's ridiculous. So I told her, you do you and I'll do me. I nearly wrote you do you, boo, but I didn't. So when it comes to word counts, if you are going to self-publish, You can call these things whatever you want. Seriously, I have done this shit long enough. I wrote my first novel 19 years ago. I've been self-publishing since 2011. We can do what we want. We can create the covers we want. We can create the interiors we want. Hang on, let me just get there. I do my own interiors. It's not that hard. You know, you can make it look professional. You can put, you know, chapter images and scene break images. You can do whatever you want in your book. But don't think you have the right to dictate to others. It's not what I was asking. I was asking who did what formats for those who did write around 50,000 words. I don't need to be schooled on this shit. I know this shit inside and out. And I'm always learning like everybody else, because there's never a true expert in this field or any other field, because things are always changing. But when it comes to 40,000 words being a novel and over, no, it's just not. It's just not. Whether you compare it, it's just not a novel. A middle grade novel, not an adult novel. So that's just my thought on 40,000 words in the publishing industry being a novel. It's not. It's just not. I don't call it a novel. I call it a novella. And that's what I'm going to continue to call it, regardless of how many people try and school me on what 40,000 words is. Middle grade, sure. Adult, fuck no.